In today's video, we will learn about fever, its variations, causes, types, mechanisms, and management. Fever, also known as pyrexia, is a temporary rise in body temperature above the normal range due to an immune response to infection, inflammation, or other pathological processes. It is generally defined as a core body temperature above 37.5 degrees Celsius or 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit when measured orally, and 38 degrees Celsius or 100.5 degrees Fahrenheit rectally. Abnormal variations of temperature include hyperpyrexia, an extreme elevation of body temperature above 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit, often associated with severe infections like sepsis or heat stroke. Hypothermia, a drop in body temperature below 35 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which can be life-threatening if not treated promptly. Intermittent fever, temperature fluctuates between febrile and afebrile periods, for example, malaria. Remittent fever, temperature remains elevated but fluctuates by more than 1 degree Celsius without returning to normal, for example, typhoid fever. Sustained fever, persistent fever with minimal fluctuations, for example, lobar pneumonia, tuberculosis. Relapsing fever, recurrent febrile episodes separated by periods of normal temperature, for example, Borrelia infections. Fever is a complex physiological response regulated by the hypothalamus. The process includes pyrogen activation, exogenous pyrogens, for example, bacteria, viruses, trigger immune cells, endogenous pyrogens, for example, interleukins, IL-1, IL-6, tumor necrosis factor alpha are released by the macrophages and monocytes. Hypothalamic resetting. Pyrogens stimulate the release of prostaglandin E2, which acts on the hypothalamic thermoregulatory center, raising the body's temperature set point. Heat conservation and production. Vasoconstriction, shivering, and increased metabolic rate contribute to heat production. Behavioral responses like seeking warmth and reducing heat loss occur. Fever resolution. Once the pyrogenic stimulus resolves, hypothalamic set point normalizes. Sweating and vasodilation promote heat dissipation. The types and causes of fever. Fever is classified into two main types, which are infectious fever caused by viral, bacterial, fungal, or parasitic infections, and non-infectious fever comprising autoimmune disorders, for example, systemic lupus erythematosus, rheumatoid arthritis, malignancies, for example, lymphoma and leukemia. Drug-induced fever, for example, caused by antibiotics, anticonvulsants, and anesthetics. Heat-related conditions, for example, heat stroke. Endocrine disorders, for example, hyperthyroidism and adrenal crisis. Commonly, fever is caused by bacterial infections such as pneumonia, urinary tract infections, tuberculosis, sepsis. Viral infections, for example, influenza, COVID-19, dengue fever, measles. Parasitic infections like malaria and leishmaniasis. Fungal infections, for example, candidiasis, histoplasmosis, and it may be post-surgical fever resulting from tissue injury, infections, or thrombosis. Inflammatory conditions can also cause a rise in body temperature such as rheumatic diseases, vasculitis. Pyrexia of unknown origin. Pyrexia of unknown origin, also known as fever of unknown origin, is defined as a fever higher than 38.3 degrees Celsius or 101 degrees Fahrenheit for more than 3 weeks without an identified cause, despite at least 1 week of inpatient investigation or extensive outpatient evaluation. PUO is classified into different types based on underlying causes. Number 1, classic PUO, seen in otherwise healthy individuals. Number 2, nosocomial PUO, occurs in hospitalized patients due to infections, drug reactions, or post-surgical complications. Number 3, neutropenic PUO affects immunocompromised patients, especially those undergoing chemotherapy. Number 4, HIV-associated PUO, found in patients with HIV. or AIDS, often due to opportunistic infections. Complications may arise in some cases. While fever itself is not harmful, prolonged or extreme elevations can lead to complications such as dehydration due to increased fluid loss, febrile seizures, which are more common in children under 5 years old, delirium, usually seen in elderly or critically ill patients. High fever in sepsis can lead to multi-organ failure. Heat stroke occurs when fever is due to environmental overheating. It may cause life-threatening hyperthermia. Diagnosing a case of fever include history taking. The most important points are onset, duration, pattern of fever, associated symptoms like cough, rash, headache, weight loss, night sweats, travel history, exposure to infectious agents, and drug use. Physical examination, vital signs, lymph node enlargement, signs of systemic illnesses should be taken care. Laboratory tests include complete blood count with differential leukocyte count, C-reactive protein and erythrocyte sedimentation rate for inflammation, blood cultures, urine analysis, sputum culture for infection identification, serological tests for viral and autoimmune conditions, liver function tests in cases of PUO. Imaging studies, chest x-ray for pneumonia and tuberculosis, ultrasound or CT scan for abdominal infections or malignancies, MRI for central nervous system infections, PET scan in case of PUO to detect occult malignancies or inflammatory processes. Biopsy in some cases of PUO including bone marrow biopsy for suspected lymphoma or leukemia, liver or lymph node biopsy to rule out granulomatous diseases. How to manage? General principles of management are identification and treatment of the underlying cause, monitoring vital signs and hydration status, supportive care to ensure comfort and prevent complications. Pharmacological treatment include antipyretics or fever reducers. Acetaminophen or paracetamol is the first line for fever management. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, for example ibuprofen, aspirin for fever and inflammation are also helpful. Antimicrobial therapy include antibiotics for bacterial infections. Empirical antibiotic therapy is not recommended in cases of PUO. Antivirals in some viral infections, antifungals for example fluconazole for fungal infections, antiparasitics for example chloroquine for malaria. Non-pharmacological measures comprises increased fluid intake to prevent dehydration, adequate rest aids in recovery, cooling methods like tepid sponging, proper ventilation to reduce overheating, avoid excessive clothing or blankets. Dietary support with light, nutritious meals to maintain energy levels. Many PUO cases resolve spontaneously or with targeted treatment. In about 10 to 15% of PUO cases, no cause is found, but the fever resolves over time. In short, fever is a natural immune response and a common clinical symptom of various infections and non-infectious conditions. While mild fever is generally self-limiting, persistent or high-grade fever warrants thorough investigation and appropriate medical intervention to prevent complications. Effective diagnosis and management of fever require a comprehensive approach, including history taking, laboratory investigations, and targeted treatment strategies. Thank you for watching. Do like and share the video and subscribe the channel to learn more.